So now that we have our official Chapter 19 information, the details of what the new killer is going to be, the name of the survivor, their capabilities, their powers, their perks, and knowing that they're not going to add a new map with the upcoming chapter in, what, 2 weeks from now? With the Trickster and Yun-Jin for Chapter 19, for the all-kill chapter. Now, I wanted to talk about maybe a wish list and come up with my own little wish list for some killers I'd like to see added in. Some of you guys that are probably watching this already know my top favorite requested killer in the wish list. And now that we have the twins in this game, with Victor running around, jumping on you and stuff like that, and just seeing how small he is, it's really fun to go against the twins. It's possible that Chucky can be added into this game, and it's not just him that I'm gonna name and talk about in this video for today, just for something different. I'm curious to see what you guys is wish list or some requested killers you guys would like to see added into this game, and maybe some survivors, maybe because they also made a, from what I remember, it was during the time, I think way before the outbreak existed, with everything that's going on around the world now during these crazy times, they came out with an individual chapter update during E3 as a surprise. So as soon as he got announced, he was released the same day with Ashley J. Williams from Evil Dead. Now, from the Evil Dead chapter, we didn't even get a killer for this. I think this was the only chapter, I could be wrong, that only had a survivor included with the update from iconic horror series. Now, I wonder if they could possibly do this again. So with Child's Play, since we're starting with Chucky just for a little bit, and I'm just going to run through my list soon as the video goes on. What if they don't think Chucky is possible, or they don't end up making them, maybe they could do something with what they did with, as an idea, since they did Ashley only from the Evil Dead horror series, from the classic series, maybe they could just do Andy Barkley from Child's Play 3 as a survivor, exclusively as a standalone chapter for only as an exclusive licensed survivor. But some ideas, and other people that I probably won't have too much ideas of what capabilities or powers and stuff like that, what they could do. Now, just to talk about Chucky, I had this idea with just how, here's all the survivors I have in the game, but if they don't make Chucky possible just with bringing Andy Barkley in the game, that could be something that would be cool to see. Now with Chucky, with his powers, if you watch the Child's Play movies, it doesn't matter which one, if you've seen one, see how he had this obsession of Andy Barkley, and he would try to cast that chant and take over his soul. Maybe they could give him some kind of unique chant to each time he downs like a survivor. He'll be just as fast as Victor, if not maybe a little bit faster and quicker, and have his own little iconic laugh from the movie that I like. But he can, when he downs a survivor, he can use like a unique chant to pick up the survivor, and the entity can help him carry the survivor and levitate them in the air and then put them on the hook. That's how he'll hook his opponents, even with his small size. Wouldn't it matter in the movies? It didn't matter if it was Child's Play, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, and all that. And Curse of Chucky, even the new Child's Play remake, none of the movies, it made no difference with his size, with him being able to carry to take out his victims from the movies. So that was just a little idea that he could that I threw out there just to come up with in this video. And then each time, if they bring in Andy Barkley as a survivor in this game, each time you play as him, you'll automatically become his obsession. You see what I'm saying? So that could be something that they could probably do as a possible Child's Play chapter. Now I'm just going to run through my other list of possible killers I would like to see added into this game. But now I'm just going to go ahead and make the switch for killers, because we have so many licensed killers. And just looking at it, if you look at them, see from just your characters like Deathslinger, they're not licensed. So It's more than possible. And just like I said with the twins, they could do just about anything with this game now that we have a little guy running around. And then with size, the pig is not that big, but they could probably increase his size and make him this almost a similar size as the pig from the Saw chapter to make it work. And I think these developers have they're innovative. They have the creativity to do just about anything in this game. So now speaking of size, with Chucky being small and with Victor as well, I was going to throw in Leprechaun. He's just as small as Chucky, if not just maybe slightly bigger. Leprechaun, they could bring in, have him just, you can find gold on the map and just distract him. Throw a couple gold coins out of the chest, and the Leprechaun could be weaker when he's missing his gold. They could just do stuff like that, throw gold around the map to get him distracted. Maybe some shoes as well, but we'll see. It's just different things that they could do. Pinhead, that was like a rumored chapter. It's so many good killers in this game. You see with the license, Ghostface from Scream, Freddy Krueger, just already went through with the Saw chapter, Michael Myers from the Halloween movies. Hey look, one of the Sawyers, or from, if you want to just call him the Cannibal, or just Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. And then, see, now we're thinking outside the movies, we got TV series, the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Stranger Things is not even a movie, it's a TV series. So maybe they could take some of these killers from these other TV horror movies or something like that. They could do Walking Dead or something like that. They could just do something. They could bring in a survivor. They could do Michonne, for example. Bring in Clementine in this game. How cool would that be? See all the possibilities? Now, just some other ones. Pinhead, that was a rumored one from sometime last year where we thought we were going to probably get Candyman. Anyone remembers the Candyman movies? They're classics. See? And then just Pennywise the Clown. But we already got the clown here. I don't think they'll add another clown, sadly. I just wish. Maybe they can take this clown out and bring in Pennywise. He'll be the better one. But I don't think they'll bring in another clown, at least. Now, from the Candyman series, just go back to that, I was thinking they could probably do, remember how I said survivor-based sort of chapters? They could probably add Helen from Candyman. If they don't want to bring in the actual Candyman, the killer himself, they could do survivors from those movies. Jeepers Creepers, have him just fly around. Maybe he could fly to generators. The guys from Jeepers Creepers fly to the generators temporarily every now and then. Maybe have like a 200-second cooldown, so it's not overpowered. They'll get a chance. He can just get a chance to get to that particular generator and be notified if it's going to be completed really quickly or near completion. It could be something like Tinkerer. He have his own little Tinkerer power or something like that. The Blob, I don't know if you guys remember these classics, The Blob, if y'all seen them. Norman Bates could be a killer. Just all these iconic movies and classics they could do. Norman Bates could be an individual killer, possibly. Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, I think would probably, I don't think that'll be possible. Because with Friday the 13th, with the servers, they're still active, but the dedicated servers are going now. So if they do add Jason Voorhees, then Friday the 13th, the game, I think that'll be officially dead. All the Friday the 13th players who still play it, they would come on over to this game. It's like anything is possible, but those are just a little bit of my list and ideas of possibilities. But there's anything, but with Chapter 19 being an original killer, maybe Chapter 20 will be guaranteed to be some kind of licensed killer. But maybe it'll be that time, since we already had a couple of original killers already. It's been like twice in a row. Because we had the Blight. Prior to the twins, we had the Blight. And then, I think before the Blight came out, it was Pyramid Head. So we had a licensed killer. and then 2 originals. So it's got to be time for maybe a new licensed killer to make its appearance. But it's possible. But that's just my list. Chucky, Leprechaun, Pinhead, Pumpkinhead, possibly. Candyman, Jeepers Creepers, The Blob, Norman Bates, Jason Voorhees, and then Pennywise the Clown. Just my little wish list just to share with you guys. But just with all these killers and everything that they've done, the creativity is there. They could do any sort of iconic video game series too. It doesn't really have to be a movie. But I wouldn't be able to think of a video game series that they could possibly do of a horror game. Fatal Frame, I don't know. Just to throw it out there. Most people probably want Five Nights at Freddy's. But it can be added. But maybe that'll be the next licensed killer from a video game series. It might not even be something with a movie series or something like that. But that's just something I wanted to share, my little wish list for chapter 20. So if you have a list or someone that you like to see, whether it's a movie or a video game series, you can comment if you want to, and maybe some possibilities of powers they can have, Maury's, if anything like that. And just with Candyman, he could just bring out the maggots and have them just eat up the bodies. That'd be cool to see. Or the Blob just swallow the survivor up completely. That'd be something. Just a couple ideas out there.